The emergency beacon cut through the silence of deep space like a knife. Captain Maya Collins stood at the helm of the Horizon's Hope, her eyes locked on the flickering distress signal that had just appeared on her screen. The cargo ship had been making a routine run between the outer colonies when the call came through. "Captain, we've got a signal," Connor Blake called from the navigation station. His young face was lit by the glow of multiple displays. "Single escape pod. One life sign. Looks pretty weak." Maya didn't need to think twice. "Change course. Bring us in close." The crew moved with practiced efficiency. Tyler Hayes left his post in engineering and headed to the loading bay. Leo Martinez secured the kitchen and grabbed the medical kit just in case. Hannah Reed adjusted their trajectory, her fingers dancing across the controls with the ease of someone who had been flying for 20 years. Through the viewing window they could see the escape pod tumbling slowly through the black. It was small, barely large enough for one person, and its hull was covered in scorch marks and deep gouges. Someone had shot at it. Someone had tried to make sure whoever was inside never made it out alive. "Bringing it in now," Hannah said softly. The bay doors opened and the pod drifted inside. As soon as the atmosphere stabilized, Tyler was there with the cutting torch. The pod's hatch was jammed, bent from some impact. He worked quickly but carefully, knowing that whoever was inside had already been through enough. When the hatch finally gave way, they all saw the creature huddled inside. It was small, maybe 4 feet tall, with a body covered in overlapping plates that shimmered blue and green under the ship's lights. 4 thin arms were wrapped around its body, and it was shaking. Its large compound eyes stared at them with obvious terror. "Easy," Maya said, approaching slowly with her hands visible and empty. "We're not going to hurt you." The creature made a series of rapid clicking sounds. A moment later, a mechanical voice came from a small device on its chest. "Please don't. Please. I have nothing of value. My family is gone. The ship is destroyed. I cannot pay a ransom." Maya felt something twist in her chest. She had been in space long enough to know what happened to survivors in the lawless sectors. They were sold, traded, ransomed, or worse. This poor creature expected the same. "What's your name?" she asked gently. The clicking sounds came again, followed by the translation. "I am called Zixral." "Zixral," Maya repeated, testing the sounds. "I'm Maya. This big guy here is Tyler. That's Leo, and you'll meet the rest of the crew soon. We're going to help you, okay? No payment needed. No ransom. We just want to make sure you're safe." Zixral's eyes moved from one human to another, searching for the lie, the trap, the hidden cruelty. But all they saw were open faces and gentle expressions. Tyler knelt down, making himself smaller and less threatening. "Can you walk? We should get you to the med bay and make sure you're not hurt." "I can walk," Zixral said quietly, unfolding slowly from the cramped position. The alien moved carefully, favoring one side. There were cracks in the chitinous plates along the left arm, and a clear fluid oozed from the wounds. Nina Foster met them in the medical bay, her professional calm immediately putting Zixral at ease. She worked efficiently, cleaning and sealing the cracks in the plating, checking for internal damage, making sure nothing was broken beyond repair. "You're lucky," Nina said as she worked. "These will heal clean. Might be sore for a few days, but you'll be fine." "Why are you helping me?" The question came out small and confused. Nina paused, looking up from her work. "Because you need help. That's reason enough." While Nina finished the medical work, Leo was busy in the kitchen. He had pulled up everything he could find about Quilarian biology and dietary needs. Their systems were delicate, requiring specific minerals and proteins. He worked quickly, preparing a simple broth that would be easy to digest and provide the nutrients Zixral needed. When Zixral emerged from the med bay, Leo was waiting with a tray. "Nothing fancy," he said with a warm smile. "But it should taste all right and help you get your strength back." Zixral stared at the bowl. "I don't understand. You rescued me. You healed me. Now you feed me. What do you want in return?" Leo set the tray down on a small table and pulled out a chair. "For you to eat and rest. That's all. But there must be something. No one does this for free. Not in this sector. Not anywhere." Tyler, who had been standing nearby, spoke up. "Kid, you're on our ship now. That makes you our responsibility. We don't leave people behind and we don't ask for payment to do the right thing." The concept seemed completely foreign to Zixral. The young Quilarian ate slowly, watching the humans with cautious eyes. Every time someone walked by, they tensed, expecting the kindness to end, waiting for the trap to spring. But it never did. Over the next few hours, the crew went about their normal routines, but they made sure someone was always nearby. Not hovering, not watching too closely, just present. Available. Connor showed Zixral how to adjust the environmental controls in the small cabin they had prepared. Hannah stopped by with a collection of soft fabrics, explaining that humans found comfort in soft things and thought Zixral might too. We're 3 weeks from the nearest station with a Quilarian community, Maya explained that evening. You'll stay with us until then. We'll make sure you get somewhere safe. 3 weeks, Zixral repeated. And you want nothing from me? We want you to heal, Maya said simply. We want you to feel safe. That's all. That night, alone in the small cabin, Zixral tried to process what was happening. Every instinct screamed that this was too good to be true. Humans had a reputation in the galaxy. They were emotional, unpredictable, and fiercely loyal to their own kind. But Zixral wasn't human. Zixral was nothing to them. Yet they had rescued without hesitation, healed without question, fed without asking for payment, provided shelter without demanding service. In the darkness of the cabin, surrounded by the gentle hum of the ship's engines, Zixral felt something unexpected. For the first time since the pirates had attacked, since watching family die, since drifting alone in the cold black of space, Zixral felt the tiniest spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, these strange humans meant what they said. The horizon's hope moved steadily through space, and with each passing day, Zixral grew a little stronger. The physical wounds had healed quickly under Nina's care, but something else was happening that the young Quilarian didn't quite understand. The humans weren't just being kind anymore. They were being family. It started small. Leo began asking what flavors Zixral preferred, adjusting recipes to match their taste. Tyler showed them how the ship's engines worked, explaining each system with patience even when Zixral asked the same questions twice. Connor taught them a card game popular on Earth, laughing when Zixral won 3 rounds in a row. You're a natural, Connor said, shuffling the deck again. Or you're cheating. I haven't decided which yet. Zixral made the clicking sound that humans had learned meant amusement. I do not cheat. Your face shows too much when you have good cards. 3 weeks had passed since the rescue. They were only days away from the station now, and Zixral should have been excited. Should have been eager to reunite with their own kind. But instead there was a hollow feeling growing in their chest. That evening the crew gathered for dinner as they always did. It was a human tradition that Zixral had grown to appreciate. Everyone sat together, sharing food and stories from their day. Maya always insisted on it, saying that a crew that ate together stayed together. You're quiet tonight, Hannah observed, passing Zixral a bowl of the mineral-rich vegetables Leo had prepared. Zixral hesitated, multiple hands fidgeting with the edge of the table. I was thinking about my family. The easy chatter around the table faded. Everyone turned their attention to Zixral, not with pity but with genuine concern. You haven't talked much about them, Maya said gently. We didn't want to push. My parents were merchants, Zixral began, the words coming slowly. My 2 siblings were learning the trade. We traveled between colonies, selling textiles and rare minerals. It was a good life. Simple but good. The translator caught the tremor in Zixral's voice. The pirates came without warning. They wanted our cargo. My father said to give it to them. We had insurance. It wasn't worth dying for. Leo reached across the table, his large hand resting near Zixral's smaller one. An offering of comfort, not demanding touch but making it available. But they didn't just want the cargo, Zixral continued. They wanted to make sure no one reported them. No witnesses. My mother put me in the escape pod. She override the lock so I couldn't open it from inside. I watched through the window as they... The words stopped. They didn't need to continue. Everyone understood. I heard the explosions. Saw the ship break apart. The pod drifted for 2 days before you found me. I thought I would die out there too. Part of me wanted to. The silence that followed was heavy but not uncomfortable. Maya stood from her chair and walked around the table. Without asking permission, she pulled Zixral into a hug. It was the first time anyone had done that, and for a moment Zixral froze. Then, slowly, all 4 arms wrapped around Maya's shoulders and something inside broke. The crew watched as Zixral cried, the translator picking up soft keening sounds. Maya held firm, one hand rubbing gentle circles on Zixral's back. You listen to me, Maya said fiercely. What happened to your family was evil. Was wrong. And I'm so sorry you had to witness it. But you're not alone anymore. You hear me? You're not alone. When Zixral finally pulled back, wiping at their eyes with trembling hands, the entire crew was watching with expressions of fierce determination. We've got 3 days until the station, Tyler said, his voice rough with emotion. But before we get there, I think we need to make something official. Agreed, Hannah said firmly. Maya returned to her seat but kept one hand on Zixral's shoulder. Zixral, this crew doesn't do things halfway. When we care about someone, we care completely. And we care about you. So I'm making this official right here, right now. Your crew family. Not temporary. Not conditional. Family. That means you're stuck with us whether you like it or not. I don't understand, Zixral whispered. Connor grinned. It means you're one of us now. It means when someone messes with you, they mess with all of us. It means you've got 6 people who will move planets to keep you safe. But I'm not human. I'm not even the same species. Family isn't about biology, Nina said softly. It's about choice. And we choose you. Leo disappeared into his quarters and returned a moment later with a bundle of dark blue fabric. We had this made at the last station, he said, unfolding it carefully. It was a crew jacket, the same style all of them wore with the Horizon's Hope patch on the shoulder. But this one had something extra embroidered on the chest in silver thread. Zixral, crew family. Try it on, Hannah urged. The jacket was modified for Zixral's four-armed body, with extra sleeves carefully tailored. It fit perfectly. Zixral looked down at the embroidery, traced the letters with shaking fingers. We have one more tradition, Maya said. Humans celebrate the day someone was born. Since we don't know your birth date, we decided to celebrate your rescue day. The day you became part of this family. Leo brought out a small cake, decorated with blue and green frosting to match Zixral's coloring. Candles flickered on top. Make a wish and blow them out, Connor explained. It's supposed to bring good luck. Zixral stared at the cake, at the smiling faces around the table, at the jacket with their names stitched into it. Something shifted deep inside. For 3 weeks, they had been waiting for the kindness to end, for the humans to reveal their true intentions. But there was no deception here. No hidden agenda. Just genuine, overwhelming love from people who had decided Zixral mattered. I wish, Zixral said softly, to stay with this family. Always. The cheer that went up was deafening. Hannah was openly crying. Tyler was grinning so wide it looked painful. Leo was already cutting the cake. And Maya was smiling with the satisfaction of someone who had just gotten exactly what she wanted. Well then, Maya said, raising her glass. To our newest family member. To Zixral. To Zixral, the crew echoed. And for the first time since the attack, Zixral felt whole. Not healed, not yet, but whole. Because family, this strange human family, was holding all the broken pieces together until they could mend. Trading Station Gamma 7 floated in the darkness like a massive metal flower, its docking arms extended to welcome ships from across the sector. The Horizon's Hope slid smoothly into dock, and Maya announced they would be staying for 8 hours to refuel and resupply. Zixral stood in the cargo bay, wearing the crew jacket with pride. The fabric felt comforting now, like armor against the universe. 3 weeks had passed since the rescue, and 2 days since the crew had declared them family. Everything felt different now. Better. Want to come to the market with me? Tyler asked, checking his supply list. Leo needs some fresh ingredients and I could use a hand carrying everything back. Zixral hesitated. The station would be crowded with dozens of species, many of whom might recognize a Quilarian. But Tyler's encouraging smile made the decision easy. I would like that, Zixral said. They walked through the docking area and into the main concourse. The station was alive with activity. Merchants called out their wares in a dozen languages. The smell of exotic foods filled the air. Holographic displays advertised everything from ship parts to luxury goods. Tyler kept Zixral close, one hand occasionally touching their shoulder to guide them through the crowd. They stopped at a produce vendor where Tyler examined strange fruits from a dozen different worlds. He held up something purple and lumpy. Think Leo could make something with this? He asked. Zixral clicked with amusement. I think Leo could make something with anything. They were laughing together when Zixral noticed 3 figures watching them from across the corridor. They were Kraviks, a reptilian species known for working as enforcers and bounty hunters. Their cold eyes were locked on Zixral, and one was speaking rapidly into a communicator. Tyler, Zixral whispered, fear creeping into their voice. Tyler followed their gaze and immediately stepped closer. What's wrong? Those 3. They're looking at me. I think they know what I am. Before Tyler could respond, the 3 Kraviks started moving toward them, pushing through the crowd with purpose. Their hands were on their weapons, not drawn but ready. You, the lead Kraviks hissed, pointing at Zixral. Quilarian from the merchant vessel Star of Kalar. There's a bounty on survivors. You're coming with us. Tyler moved instantly, putting himself between Zixral and the bounty hunters. Back off. They're under human protection. The Kroviks laughed, a harsh rattling sound. Human protection means nothing here. This is neutral station. The bounty is legal. Step aside. Not happening, Tyler said flatly. The lead Kroviks reached for Zixral, trying to grab them around Tyler's bulk. Tyler's response was immediate and brutal. His fist caught the Krovik square in the snout, sending the creature stumbling backward. The other two rushed forward, and suddenly Tyler was fighting all three at once. Zixral pressed back against the market stall, watching in horror as Tyler battled the bounty hunters. He was bigger than them, stronger, but they had weapons and training. A blade flashed in the artificial light. Tyler dodged, grabbed one Kroviks by the arm, and used their momentum to throw them into their companion. People were screaming now, running away from the fight. Station security would arrive soon, but whose side would they take? Run! Tyler shouted at Zixral, blocking a strike aimed at his ribs. Get back to the ship. But Zixral couldn't move. Fear had frozen them in place. The lead Kroviks, recovering from Tyler's punch, pulled a stun weapon and aimed it at the human. The blast hit Tyler in the chest. He went down hard, his body convulsing from the electrical shock. The Kroviks immediately turned to Zixral, moving fast. No! Zixral cried out, scrambling backward. The bounty hunter's clawed hand closed around Zixral's arm, yanking them forward. You're coming with us. Dead or alive, the bounty pays the same. I don't think so. The voice cut through the chaos like a blade. Maya stood at the end of the corridor, and she wasn't alone. Hannah, Connor, Leo, and Nina were with her, all armed, all wearing expressions of cold fury. Station security was there too, weapons drawn but uncertain. Release our crew member, Maya said, her voice deadly calm. Right now. The Kroviks holding Zixral tightened his grip. This is legal salvage. The bounty is registered with the station. You have no authority here, human. Maya walked forward slowly, deliberately. The rest of her crew fanned out, creating a semicircle. That's where you're wrong. Under Terran law, any being declared under human protection is granted full rights and privileges. Zixral is crew family of the Horizon's Hope, registered with the Terran Colonial Authority. That means they're untouchable. This isn't Terran space, one of the security officers said nervously. Station law applies here. Maya turned her cold gaze on him. Then let me explain station law to you. You have a human ship docked here. A human crew. Human trade agreements that keep this station profitable. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to think very carefully before you answer. Do you really want to make an enemy of humanity over 3 bounty hunters and a legal technicality? The security officer shifted uncomfortably. Everyone in the sector knew the stories. Humans didn't forgive threats against their families. They held grudges across generations. They would burn bridges, sacrifice prophets, and wage wars over principle alone. The bounty is legal, the Kroviks insisted, though his grip on Zixral had loosened slightly. The bounty is void, Maya countered. Because if you don't release my family member in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to contact every human ship, every human station, and every human colony in this sector. And I'm going to tell them that Gamma 7 allows bounty hunters to kidnap beings under human protection. How long do you think this station survives without human trade? It was a bluff, but only partially. The security officer looked at his superior, who had just arrived with reinforcements. The superior studied the situation, looked at the determined faces of the human crew, and made a calculated decision. Release the Quilarian, he ordered. But the bounty, the Kroviks started, is not worth a diplomatic incident. Release them. Now. The clawed hand opened and Zixral stumbled forward. Hannah was there immediately, catching them and pulling them back toward the safety of the crew. Leo was helping Tyler to his feet, the big man still shaky from the stun blast but conscious. Maya stepped forward until she was face to face with the lead Kroviks. Spread the word. Zixral is family. That means anyone who touches them answers to humanity. All of humanity. Do you understand? The bounty hunter's eyes flickered with something that might have been fear. They nodded once and backed away, their companions following. Maya turned to the security chief. We'll be filing a formal complaint. And you can expect Terran authorities to review Gamma 7's bounty practices. She didn't wait for a response. The crew formed a protective circle around Zixral and Tyler, moving as one unit back toward the docking bay. No one tried to stop them. The Horizon's Hope left Gamma 7 within the hour, pushing hard away from the station. In the medical bay, Nina finished checking Tyler's vitals while the rest of the crew gathered around. The confrontation had shaken everyone, but none more than Zixral. The young Quilarian sat in the corner, all four arms wrapped tightly around their body. They hadn't spoken since returning to the ship, hadn't met anyone's eyes. Maya could see the wheels turning in their head, and she knew what was coming before Zixral even opened their mouth. "I need to leave," Zixral said quietly. The room went silent. "What?" Connor asked, confused. "I need to leave the ship. At the next station you should drop me off. I can find my way to a Quilarian colony. I'll be safe there." The words came out rushed, practiced, like Zixral had been rehearsing them. Tyler, still recovering on the medical bed, sat up straighter. "Kid, what are you talking about? The bounty hunters came because of me. They hurt you because of me. If I stay, more will come. Worse ones. The pirates want all witnesses dead. They won't stop." Zixral's voice cracked. "I won't let you get hurt because of me. You've done enough. More than enough. But I need to go." Maya crossed her arms and leaned against the wall. "No. Captain, please understand." "No," Maya repeated, her voice firm but not unkind. "You're not leaving. We're not dropping you off. That's final. But they'll keep coming. Don't you understand? The pirates put that bounty out for a reason. They're covering their tracks. Anyone who knows what they did, anyone who can identify them, has to die. That's me. I'm the target." Zixral stood up, agitated. "I'm putting all of you in danger just by being here." Hannah stepped forward. "Zix, look at me. Do you really think we'd let you walk away to face this alone? It's not your fight." "Yes, it is," Leo said firmly. "The moment we pulled you from that pod, it became our fight. The moment we called you family, it became our responsibility. You don't understand what you're saying. These pirates are dangerous. They're organized. They have ships, weapons, connections. You're a cargo vessel. You can't fight them." Tyler swung his legs off the medical bed, ignoring Nina's protests. "You're right. We can't. Not alone." He pulled out his communicator and held it up. "But we're not alone." Maya pushed off from the wall and walked to the center of the room. "Here's what's going to happen. We're not running. We're not hiding. And we're damn sure not abandoning you. Instead, we're going to do what humans do best. We're going to protect our family." "How?" Zixral's voice was small, defeated. "By hunting the hunters," Connor said with a grim smile. Over the next hour, Maya explained the plan. She had already sent messages to other human ships in the sector. The response had been immediate and overwhelming. Humans had a reputation across the galaxy for many things, but the strongest was this: they protected their own with absolute ferocity. "We've got 6 other ships willing to help," Maya said, displaying a star map with position markers. The cargo hauler Steady Wind, the mining vessel Deep Fortune, the transport ship New Dawn, the survey ship Pathfinder, the small freighter Lucky Star, and the passenger liner Graceful Journey. 7 human ships total, all coordinating to track down this pirate gang. Zixral stared at the map in disbelief. "They're willing to help? For me? They don't even know me." "They know your family to one of us," Hannah explained. "That's enough. Humans share information across incredible distances. Word spreads fast. Right now, every human captain in 3 sectors knows about you. They know what happened to your family. They know about the bounty. And they know you're one of us now. But why would strangers care?" Tyler smiled, though it didn't reach his eyes. "Because today it's you. Tomorrow it might be their family. We take care of each other. It's how we survive out here." Leo brought up intelligence reports on his data pad. "We've been gathering information. The pirate gang calls themselves the Crimson Reapers. They operate out of an asteroid base in the Theta Cluster. About 15 ships, maybe 60 people total. They've been hitting merchant vessels for 3 years." "That's a small army," Zixral whispered. 7 ships against 15? 7 human ships, Connor corrected. "There's a difference." Maya pulled up tactical displays. "We're not going in guns blazing. We're going to be smart about this. We've got 2 weeks to prepare before all ships can rendezvous. That gives us time to train you." "Train me?" Zixral's eyes widened. "Self-defense," Nina said. "Basic combat. Emergency procedures. We're not putting you in danger, but you need to know how to protect yourself if something goes wrong." Over the next week, the Horizon's Hope became a training ground. Tyler taught Zixral how to throw a punch, how to use their forearms as an advantage in close combat. Hannah showed them how to pilot the ship's emergency shuttle, how to plot escape routes. Connor taught them weapons basics, nothing heavy, just enough to defend themselves. Meanwhile, Tyler and Leo worked on modifications to the ship. They built a reinforced safe room in the cargo bay, hidden behind false panels. It had its own life support, communications, and enough supplies to last 2 weeks. "This is your panic room," Tyler explained, showing Zixral the concealed entrance. "If anything goes wrong, if we're boarded, you get in here and you don't come out until one of us gives the all clear." "I don't want to hide while you fight," Zixral protested. "It's not hiding. It's surviving. That's what your mother wanted when she put you in that escape pod. She wanted you to survive." Tyler's voice was gentle. "Let us protect you. That's what family does." The training continued. Zixral learned to move quietly, to find cover, to assess threats. They learned human hand signals and emergency codes. They practiced drills until their body moved on instinct. One evening, as Zixral sat exhausted in the common room, Maya joined them with 2 cups of tea. "You're doing well," she said, sitting down beside them. "I'm terrified," Zixral admitted. "Good. Fear keeps you sharp. But remember this." Maya turned to face them fully. "You're not alone anymore. You're ours now, Zix. And we protect our own. Those pirates made a mistake when they left you alive. They created a witness. But more than that, they gave humanity a reason to care. And when humans care about something, we don't stop. We don't give up. We don't back down. What if something happens to one of you? What if someone gets hurt because of me?" Maya smiled. "Then we heal and we keep going. That's what family does. We take risks for each other. We sacrifice for each other. And we never, ever abandon each other." She put a hand on Zixral's shoulder. "You're worth fighting for. Don't ever doubt that." As the Horizon's Hope moved through space toward the rendezvous point, Zixral understood something fundamental about humans. They didn't just accept family. They defended it with everything they had. And somehow, impossibly, Zixral had become worth defending. The 7 human ships moved through space in perfect formation, their engines running dark to avoid detection. They had tracked the Crimson Reapers to their base in the Theta Cluster, a hollowed-out asteroid that had been converted into a fortress. Maya stood on the bridge of the Horizon's Hope, watching the tactical display as the other 6 ships took their positions. "All ships report ready," Connor said from the communication station. Maya took a deep breath. This was it. 2 weeks of planning, of coordinating with 6 other crews, of preparing for every possible outcome. Beside her, Zixral stood in the new armor the crew had fabricated, lightweight but strong enough to stop most small arms fire. "You should be in the panic room," Maya said quietly. "I should be here," Zixral replied. "This is my fight too." Before Maya could argue, Tyler's voice came over the comm. "Captain, we're picking up movement. 3 pirate ships launching from the base." "Let them come," Maya said calmly. She opened a channel to the entire fleet. "All ships, hold position. Let's show them what they're dealing with." The pirate ships approached cautiously at first, probably expecting an easy target. Then they saw the 7 human vessels waiting in formation and everything changed. The pirates tried to scatter, to run back to the safety of their base, but the human ships were faster. The steady wind cut off their retreat while the Deep Fortune positioned itself above the asteroid base, blocking any more launches. The other ships formed a net, surrounding the pirates completely. Maya opened a wideband transmission. "Attention Crimson Reapers. This is Captain Maya Collins of the Terran vessel Horizon's Hope. You are surrounded by 7 human ships. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded." There was a long silence. Then a harsh voice crackled over the comm. "You have no authority here, human. This is free space. Leave now or we'll destroy you." "You're welcome to try," Maya said, her voice cold. "But before you do, I want you to know why we're here. 4 weeks ago, you attacked a Quilarian merchant vessel. You murdered innocent people, including children. You left one survivor, thinking no one would care enough to come after you. You were wrong." She nodded to Connor, who broadcast a message to every ship in range, every station within 3 sectors. The message contained evidence of the Crimson Reapers' crimes, testimony from Zixral, and proof of the bounty they had placed on survivors. "That information is now in the hands of every authority in this sector," Maya continued. "You're done. You can surrender now and face justice, or you can fight and be destroyed. Your choice." The pirate leader tried to sound defiant. 7 cargo ships against our fleet? You're outgunned." Tyler's voice cut in from engineering. "Are we though? Because I'm reading 15 ships in your fleet, but only 3 of them have their engines running. The rest are in dock. By the time you launch them, we'll have disabled your base's defense systems. And captain to captain, let me tell you something about humans. We don't bluff. Minutes ticked by. The human ships held their formation waiting. Then one by one the pirate ships powered down their weapons. We surrender, the pirate leader said finally, defeat heavy in his voice. The next few hours were controlled chaos. The human crews boarded the pirate ships and the asteroid base, securing prisoners and evidence. Coalition authorities arrived within 6 hours, summoned by the same wideband message Maya had sent. They found everything documented, recorded, ready for prosecution. The pirate leader, a scarred Kravix named Destroyer, was brought before Maya in restraints. He stared at her with hatred. All this for one Quilarian? You risked 7 ships, dozens of lives for a single alien? Maya stepped close to him, her eyes hard. That single alien is family. And when you threaten human family, you face all of humanity. Remember that in whatever prison they send you to. As coalition forces took the pirates away, Maya returned to her ship. Zixral was waiting in the cargo bay, watching everything with wide eyes. It's over, Maya said gently. They'll face trial. They'll pay for what they did. You didn't kill them, Zixral said quietly. You could have. No one would have blamed you. That's not justice. That's revenge. We're better than that. Maya put a hand on Zixral's shoulder. Your family deserves real justice, not just blood. 3 days later, they arrived at Coalition Station 7. The other human ships departed with promises to stay in touch, with new friendships formed in the crucible of shared purpose. But waiting at the station were 2 Quilarian diplomats, their chitinous plates marked with the symbols of high rank. We have come for the survivor, the elder diplomat said formally. Zixral of the merchant clan. They will be returned to Quilarian space and placed with relatives. Zixral felt their hearts sink. After everything, after becoming family, they were going to be taken away. But Maya smiled. I'm afraid that's not possible. The diplomat's mandibles clicked with irritation. The child is Quilarian. They belong with their own kind. Zixral belongs where Zixral chooses, Maya said calmly. She pulled out a data pad and handed it to the diplomat. I filed these papers 2 weeks ago with the Terran Colonial Authority and the Coalition Family Court. Interspecies adoption petition. It was approved yesterday. The diplomat stared at the documents. This is unprecedented. Humans adopting a Quilarian? Family isn't about biology, Maya said simply. It's about choice. It's about who stands beside you when things get hard. It's about love. She turned to Zixral. But the choice is yours. If you want to go with them to be with your own species, we won't stop you. But if you want to stay with us, you have that right now. Legally. Officially. Zixral looked at the diplomats, at the promise of returning to familiar culture and people who looked like them. Then they looked at Maya, at the crew of the Horizon's Hope visible through the docking port window. Tyler waved. Hannah gave a thumbs up. Leo was probably already cooking a celebration meal. I want to stay, Zixral said firmly. This is my family now. The diplomats seemed shocked, but they couldn't argue with legal documents. They left with promises to check on Zixral's well-being, but everyone knew they wouldn't interfere. 6 months passed. Zixral stood on the bridge of the Horizon's Hope, studying navigation charts under Connor's patient guidance. They wore the crew uniform with pride, and their name was officially registered as Zixral Collins, adopted child of Captain Maya Collins. The ship's comm chirped. Captain, we're picking up a distress signal. Small escape pod. Single life sign. Species unknown. Maya looked at Zixral with a knowing smile. What do you think, navigator? Zixral didn't hesitate. Change course. Bring them in. An hour later, a small, frightened alien sat in the cargo bay, trembling and confused. They were Sendari, a species Zixral had never seen before, with crystalline skin that refracted light in rainbow patterns. Where am I? The alien asked in a shaking voice. Are you going to hurt me? Zixral knelt down, making themselves smaller and less threatening, just like Tyler had done for them so many months ago. You're safe now. We're not going to hurt you. My name is Zixral. What's yours? Pell? The alien whispered. Well, Pell, I'm going to tell you something important. You've been rescued by humans, and when humans decide you're worth saving, they don't do anything halfway. Zixral gestured to the crew gathering around. This is Captain Maya, and that's Tyler, Hannah, Connor, Leo, and Nina. They saved my life. They became my family. And if you want, they'll become yours too. Pell looked around at the smiling faces, at the gentle expressions, at the offered hands of help. Family? But I'm nobody to you. Zixral smiled, remembering saying those exact words once. Maybe right now. But you're on this ship, under our care. That makes you one of us. That's what happens when humans decide you're family. They choose you, they protect you, and they never let you go. Maya watched Zixral comfort the frightened alien, teaching them the same lessons of love and acceptance that had been taught to them. This was the legacy of human compassion, spreading across the stars one rescued soul at a time. And in that moment, Maya understood that they hadn't just saved Zixral. They had started something bigger. A chain of kindness that would ripple across the galaxy, proving that family wasn't defined by blood or species, but by the simple choice to care.